morning. It's time of the month when I do my allotment tour, and it's September, second week in September, and we have been on little holiday, and then the next weekend very busy with the bees, taking any surplus honey of them, and actually extracting the honey, and it was very busy, and I did take some footage, but in the end we lapsed last week, so I'm sorry about that. But let's just have a look at the allotment in almost mid-September. So I'm starting here where the horse manure store is. I just wanted to show you something. So the pumpkins decided to venture outside of the allotment and are now climbing and set fruit all over this fence and going out to the land which doesn't belong to us at all. So there is some gravel, and this is the second very good and interesting development, especially for me, because my birthday present has arrived, and we have now have our greenhouse, although being in bits at the moment, being secured to the fence. This is the glass, very heavy glass, and Nigel is going to have a look and try to put some of it, maybe the frame together today. So as for the progress, I have cleared up last week the path here because it was absolutely impassable, full of bindweed, and it needs probably another little go today or tomorrow to clear it better, especially the bindweed there. And this area still is very much dumping ground, although now that we have less sort of I would say activity on the allotment, will be time to clear this up. Considering that this area was just one big mess, that's not too bad. And cucumbers were still producing. I'm still harvesting lots of cucumbers. I'm just gonna see if I can show you any. Yes, they're still heavy. They still have cucumbers on them, so I will be picking them up. There is, I think, could be some of the the funny ones, the Turkish ones, variety. Now courgettes, they've gone completely crazy this year, and we have probably overplanted. I think I have 6 courgette plants, and they're setting courgettes and marrows because we can't manage to pick them soon enough. There is some squashes and pumpkins, and it will be really lovely and interesting once all this foliage dies down what we actually have. So we had probably 6 courgettes, and I include a couple of patipans in that, so it's still probably too many for us. The asparagus beds are looking okay, not too much weeding, little bit of weeding, I could do that very easily. And then the sweet corn is not yet ready, I don't think. It was very, very, very late planting of that sweet corn because my first sweet corn failed. So if you look here at the kernels, well, maybe it's not that far. It's supposed to be the red one. I'm gonna check maybe one today. Now in this area, we just having we've put this into Christmas potatoes, and they're just starting to come out as we had a little bit of rain. We could have done them in the pots, but actually we just wanted that area to be put to some sort of use. And this is the second Asparagus Bed doesn't actually almost need weeding. There's maybe 2 or 3 beets I can see. So that's really pretty well. Looking really good. Well, that's my pride and joy. These are my leeks which I sown in the house, let them germinate and just dump them in the polytunnel. I think I sown them in sort of, I don't know, February time, early February probably. And I'll be harvesting a couple of them. Are they blanched? Are they all as they should be? Well, I don't really care. I mean, that will make me a nice soup, a leek and potato soup, and I probably will be taking a couple of those today. You can see the difference. These here have been planted from the same seedlings, but planted a little bit early straight into the ground, and that shows how advanced they are, how that much helped. But that's good because we don't want them all to be mature at once. And this is one of my I love these kind of beds, a little polyculture. So we've got leeks on the outside, carrots, beetroot, and parsnip. Let me see if I can see any parsnips here. Yes, I can. So these are actually parsnips. These are actually parsnips. A little bit of weeding here, but nothing that cannot be remedied quite easily. And my other pride and joy, this is my new cabbage cage. It wasn't the easiest to put up. It's not exactly very evenly done. And again, there were probably some caterpillars from when they were seedlings. A little bit of weeding. I might open it up and check for any other caterpillars, but last year I just let them be, and they actually did go quite okay in the end. So these are mainly Romanesco 4 cabbages, which actually are the worst affected by the caterpillars, and I will have a look at them because I was looking forward to those cabbages. But the cage is up. Because it's of the size of those beds, it will be movable between those 3 beds as they are at the moment. So the flower beds are still going, still having some dahlias on them. Need to deadhead today. Haven't been for a few days actually. That's the herb bed. So we've been harvesting lots of parsley here. I think we left these cabbages, perpetual cabbages, for a little bit as a bit of a sacrifice cabbages for the butterflies. Still plenty of dahlias on these beds, but now I'm saving the sweet peas for seeds. I think this is what happens to cosmos when the soil is too rich and they do not flower. So I think it's going to be goodbye to this cosmos. We couldn't predict that. I suppose you learn something every day. So we still have weeding to be done on this strawberry bed. It is actually covered in plastic underneath of those wood chips. Oh, something is having really nice time on those late strawberries, which are still flowering. But we need to just have a look at that. And let's have a look what Nigel is doing. He's always doing exciting things. Well, he is unpacking the frame for the greenhouse. How exciting is that? I think he started leveling the ground there, He mentioned that he might still need to level it further, but that is really quite exciting. So he cleared up some of this area from stinging nettles because he wouldn't be otherwise able to do anything here. So I think this is going to be the entrance. This way is going to be the entrance. Which way? Oh, that way. That's not logical. It's got to be this way. That's not exactly logical, my darling. Anyway, we're going to have that argument off the camera. No doubt. Let's have a look at the other bed of brassicas. Ooh, these stinging nettles really mean the business. This is some of my rhubarb. It's doing okay, not overwhelmed by it. You know, again, all these paths, although they laid out, it's just the nature is just amazing. Well, some of my cabbage heads are just forming. So there's a little one here. There is some more there. I have a feeling the sprouting broccoli are still producing little sprouts. We had quite loads of these. Don't know if you can see them. They're still sprouting. Oh, there's a cabbage white inside. I don't know how they managed to do that. And these are my Courgettes, which obviously grow to the size of I don't know. They definitely could be 6 foot or 7 foot if you let them. So I think these are my perpetual cauliflowers. I'm not sure, they didn't fruit. Don't know. I'm gonna leave them, make a space for them, then leave them. I've got a couple of little Savoy cabbages further down there. It's very overgrown and very weedy bed. I should really harvest some kale. And heroes of the moment, my BBs. Well, we have managed to harvest surplus honey, so they have 2 supers of honey left and 2 brood boxes on the top. This is the hive on the left, and we took 1 super with us a week ago, and that super, which you can see standing next to it because it was still full of bees, I wanted them to go home. That super produced 30 jars of raw, pure honey. Absolutely delicious and good also thickness, good sort of, when you check that with refractometer, good quality honey. And this one is my little hive. I don't really see, oh yes, there is some activity on that. So I'm glad because I'm treating them for varroa mites, and it's the first time I'm doing this. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to react to. It's supposed to be probably one of the mildest treatment, but you know, I'm wondering how they're gonna react. So the paths needs clearing. There's a never-ending jobs here. So as we approach the inside of the polytunnel, sorry, not inside of the polytunnel, inside of the old chicken coop, just to show you, I've cleared. There was full of weeds here. You couldn't see the marigolds. I'm keeping the seedlings because I want this to be kind of to the left, marigolds sort of for my harvesting, for what I do. And then we have lots of seedlings of raspberries, which I will transfer to I will transfer them to the food forest part, which we haven't started yet. So I will be doing that in November. I'm letting them grow a little bit bigger. All these are going to be dug up, cut off the parent, and let's see, another little experiment. Now I just want to show you my raspberries. I mean, this is going to be some harvest today. I mean, they are really want to be picked. So I was expecting some. I wasn't expecting as much as this. So Swiss chard is still looking good. This is parsley going to seed, and I let it seed it. We're going to keep it like that next year. We've been harvesting some. Look at those absolutely beautiful colors and leaves. Really interesting. Some perpetual spinach, some radicchio for me, hopefully. Never grew radicchio before. Would be nice to harvest some of that lavender for the smoker, to put in my smoker. I'm smoking the bees, to smoke them with something pleasantly smelling rather than quite artificial things. So what else? We'll be harvesting next week the chilies, letting them ripen indoors, and we will be I'm going to uncover the blueberries. They don't need to be covered anymore. I'll be clearing up this bed, checking if there's probably still a little bit of the yellow beans left. I don't think they should be very much more producing. Let me clear what is there, and then we can clear the bed entirely. Oh, I can see that part of my greenhouse is lying here, so I need to be careful. Some more beans. We're constantly picking, especially the broad beans is very prolific this year. We have some other beans as well. The purple bean, I can't remember the name. I have mixed feelings about this year. Our celeriacs, I think, are reasonable size. Celeriac here as well. So there will be some celeriac. And there's some of it is celery. As you can see, those giant sunflowers. I'm gonna leave the rest of the sunflowers. I tried one, and actually the seeds were not very developed yet, and actually I want to leave them for the beds. So I will be leaving them from now on the plant. So if squirrels and birds want them, they can have them. So this is some more peppers here, and again I will be harvesting them. I'm planning to, as you can see, some of them are actually ripening. I will be actually putting some of these plants in pots later on, and I will be trying to overwinter them. These are my purple sprouting broccoli. They've been under attack. They're looking better. So we're going to give them a chance. That's what exactly happened last year, and we still had really nice harvest from them in February. These are quite early ones. Now let's have a look at the beetroot here. Wow. Let me just move the camera. The beetroots are here. They all very I think the celery is doing really well here, but I'm looking for, all the red beetroot is doing really well. And I will be again harvesting some of these beautiful cosmos, which just looks fab. And we're back to the chilies, and Oh, the last thing I haven't shown is the Polytunnel. I don't think it's great shakes at the moment. Oh, look at these dahlias. Deadheading and cutting few for home, definitely. So I think this leek is going to seed. Let's leave it and see what's going to happen. I mean, this you know, is having second go. This nasturtium, you know, the nasturtium behind is kind of setting definitely seed and saying, that's it, I'm done. Well, this one is saying, well, I'm just starting all over again. Fantastic. So what we have here? We have at the moment some melons. Let me show you how big these melons are comparing to my hand, because these things are very deceptive when you actually show them to people. So this one is probably 4 inches in diameter. This one is a little bit bigger. This one is equally small. There is one here. I have 5 in total, but they stopped growing, and I think this is trend with other gardeners. I think they are not playing the ball. Is that my biggest one? Let's have a look. Possibly. So I don't know if any of them really ripens properly to be anything. Few tomatoes to pick. Some aubergines, which are still on the plants. The plants are looking worse for, I don't know, I can't get to grips entirely with aubergines. These are having first small long ones, which I've been so hoping to try. So I'm not quite sure. I will let you know how we progress with the stuff in the poly. I have made the decision that next year Polytunnel will be nothing but tomatoes, and aubergines, melons and chilies will be in a greenhouse. I think it's now time to discuss the greenhouse with Nigel and see if we can reach some sort of compromise, and that's about the end of the tour. I hope you enjoyed our little musings about the allotment, and it's still looking very attractive, very pretty, and definitely still very, very productive. And I hope you have a lovely weekend. The weather is supposed to be good, not too hot, not too wet. So happy gardening, and hopefully I'll see you next week.